You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone.
Orange.
Me and Mohammed Oman Bango, Minister of Youth Affairs. Liberty Online TV asks every Sierra Leoneans to follow online programs and with the ministry INSSF. If we be part of the minister, if we be part of they ensure say we send the right message and one area than the way we will use, because when you use online TV, you reach out every Sierra Leoneans across the country. Thank you very much.
Hello, Miss Salon people. Me na Prezo Kroma. I want to tell una say una always tune in to Liberty Online TV for the very best of information, entertainment, and education. The best online TV.
I'm Edwin, the Vice President of the 50/50 Group. I just want to encourage the viewers for stay tuned to Liberty Television.
Me na Victor Louis, Chairman of the Sierra Leone Premier League Board. I encourage you all for watch Liberty Online TV and for follow get all your news about sport and anything with the happen at Salone.
Of course.
because when I see Liberty Online TV, I was so touched. Because the country, say all the journalists there really now better than journalists there. Now people the way sabi ask question. Now people the way like this country. Now people the way they back you because of your political background or say you come out. Now people they always really hit the name and the question. Sierra Leoneans they don't miss them a lot. But when we see them back on Liberty Online TV, we get hope. Say we get people the way the old politicians they now to answer. I tell you thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV na Facebook and YouTube where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We where they bring the program come to you this morning. My name na Khadija Bangora.
And me na Mabel Kaba. Good morning. Today na Wednesday, December 27. And inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, we'll look at the legislature as we theme for this morning with a special focus on first term Mandem we be in a parliament where parliament been sacked.
All right, for can we look at this issue this morning. This BNTM, December 18 this year, one letter will come out from the clerk in office when the secretary to the Parliamentary Service Commission say it don't sack over 100 workmen them will be the work na parliament. Waiting this mean for the workmen there so we don't work na parliament for long term now. And according to waiting the Parliamentary Service Commission say some of the workmen there so don't in a parliament, they notice they don't be the go work. We can look at this issue, how this don't affect the young people there so and waiting this mean for job creation at the country. But before we come to we studio guest them this morning, we go help we look at this issue. We senior producer Abdullah Bala we put together a report for Liberty Sister online television when at the Black TV we put together this report.
We have not yet taken the decision. And for all you know, the decision might not even involve redundancies of existing staff.
So the Speaker of the Saloon Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Chernobundu, been take time for clarify the burning issue of sack no sack of workmandem at the Saloon Parliament. And as you hear, the Speaker of Parliament been make am clear once a Parliament not take yet any decision for sack any of them workmandem. And this na statement where the Speaker of Parliament make this BNTM na the well of Parliament. This clarification come after where the Director General of the Saloon Parliament, Finda Fraser, been pull word na do inside one interview. Say the Parliamentary Service Commission say them plan for sack but 137 workmandem because the space for workmandem na Parliament don't full up past mark.
The parliamentary services say we overboard. They decide that the meeting say they get for reduced staff, they get for redundancy of staff because we overboard.
This information from the Director General of the Saloon Parliament been end up not be true, according to the Speaker of Parliament, when at the head of the Saloon Parliament and self the Parliamentary Service Commission, we then say make this very decision. In fact, the Speaker of Parliament say the Parliamentary Service Commission been fair not say some people they take salary from Parliament but not can even mass food go work na Parliament and then kind people them yaso Parliament they try for fish out.
What has come to our attention is that we have a figure of the number of people working for Parliament, but when we do an actual count, we don't seem to be getting that figure. No, they are not close. They are not close. Some of them are not even in country. system works. They are not being paid directly by Parliament. They are being paid by finance. So we are investigating who they are, how much they've been getting, and so on and so forth.
The speaker been the response to the leader of opposition, Honorable Abdul Kabo, where raised serious concern but news say Parliament they about for sack but over 100 workman them.
In the midst of all this employment, they want to dismiss 100 staff in your highness. You are killing your institution. Innocent staff, you want to dismiss them.
But by all the speaker in clarification where he make and lay the issue to rest, last Friday, over 100 workmen them na Parliament received sack letter from the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali, where in subject na letter of redundancy. And according to the letter, the clerk quote section 53, paragraph 1 and 2 of the Parliament Act of 2023, where according to the parliamentary service, where the speaker the head get right for create office them na Parliament or scrap office them na Parliament or change the work with any office they do na Parliament, and usai any office don't scrap or change in focus. At the Parliamentary Service Commission back get the power for put any workman at the new office or sack him if he not fit na the office again. Now, the Clerk of Parliament, when the Secretary of the Parliamentary Commission, don't sack but over 100 workmen them na the Salon Parliament without the approval of the Chairman of the Parliamentary Service Commission, when the Speaker of Parliament. This clear because the Speaker of Parliament self don't make them clear. Say, they not reach any decision for sack workmen them na Parliament. And in fact, they not go even sack workmen them based on waiting them don't fair not. The side where the Clerk of Parliament shoot himself na the foot now where he make use of the power of the Speaker of Parliament before the Speaker in face. Even with the Speaker, we don't talk say the Parliamentary Service Commission not plan for sack any of them workman them. But in when adjust the Secretary for the Parliamentary Service Commission, caught before the Speaker and sack over 100 workman them na Parliament. When into the Speaker tell him for do so according to the sack letter where he give out. This don't left big question of plenty people in much where they follow the Salon Parliament as to who that get the power for take this kind of big decision for sack but over 100 workmen them na Parliament. Now the Speaker when at the head of Parliament or na the Clerk of Parliament where they work under the Speaker. And people still want to see if the Speaker of Parliament would turn up make the Clerk of Parliament make use of him power, sent him before him face, like how it don't happen so, and he left both case. Black TV Online, they continue for follow this issue, for see how this power game na the Salon Parliament will play till the end between the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Chernobundu, and in workman, the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali.
Alright, the program we still watch na the Liberty Breakfast Show where they come to you live from the Liberty Online TV na Facebook and YouTube powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We continue the program and the theme we they look at this morning na the legislature, and we they pay special focus on the over 100 workmen them where Parliament been sacked this BNTM. According to one letter where the Clerk of Parliament been signed December 18 this year, a sack over 100 people them where we don't all different position them na Parliament. And according to waiting the clerk puts on the letter, it say it quotes section 53 1 and 2 of the Parliament Act of 2003. Well, for can look at this topic this morning na the studio, I want to welcome Abdul Fatoma, when a Chief Executive for Chadi, himself na one person. We don't pay close attention to this issue from we begin at Parliament. Good morning, Mr. Fatoma, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Liberty TV, and thanks for having me.
And also na the studio, we get a colleague journalist. We done in a Parliament for a very long time, and he done the monitor parliamentary proceeding and burning issues then like this, we can come out from Parliament. Melvin Tijandev Mansaye, sorry, my name. Good morning, Melvin, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, so go start with you, Melvin. As I don't get background to viewers them, December 18 this year, a letter will come out from the clerk where is signed Honorable Umar Parantarawali, it titled a letter of redundancy. Over 100 people na them don't lost work na parliament. This issue not totally begin. One time in an interview where Madam Fraser been granted, he say yes, then they plan for let people left work na parliament. But on the contrary, the speaker said during a parliamentary proceeding, he said they not get any plan of that, although conversation around that they come out. All of a sudden, a letter don't come out. What does this mean? You now one person don't monitor all of them things there. So give viewers them a background as to when you begin follow this issue and outside this issue there now.
Well, as it stands on waiting we see in writing, the issue don't take effect, and this now it begins 6 months back. Outside notification become on that Parliament we get for redundant, not dismiss, but some 137. All right, I underline the word redundant because the labor law is very clear. If you are dismissed, that's for wrongdoing. If you are redundant, it's the opposite. And the entitlements as captured in the citation made by the clerk on the Parliamentary Service Act, it means if you are being redundant, your entitlements for already. So I bring this up because 6 months back to now, January 1, it will take effect. We expect, say, issue around the payments first for the as per law be settled. That being said, looking at the arguments, I granted that interview, exclusive interview to Madam Fraser some months back, and it came out from the question that why redundancy now, and it been very clear that they're overstaffed. So they asked the question again, who are responsible if Parliament overstaffed? And like any other person is saying everybody responsible. What's the rule now? The rule now that you have a Parliamentary Service Commission and you have the Parliamentary Service. The Commission is jointly represented by the administration, beside the clerk and the secretary, and the political wing, beside the speaker and the chairman. Then you get members of opposition, government, whip, and a member of the paramount chief. They all did in the commission. And that commission, the lifespan, they end anytime we will get new election. So that being said, from the day-to-day administration politically of Parliament, you talk about the commission. But if you look at the technicality there, if you look at section 82 of the Constitution, it's clearly defined what's the role of the clerk. Say, now in the head, the administration. So, as the clerk, I think say yes, by the law, now you get that duty there. But the question where many people on the beg, was it taken in tandem with the Parliamentary Service Commission? More so when you see member from the opposition, we suppose Honorable
Abu. Get the power than the speaker.
Well, in terms of the generality of administration, yes, it's the clerk because it's the votes controller. So I think that's what we established.
So from your experience so far na Parliament, because we all see clearly na the reports we senior producer do, Abdullah Bla, where the Speaker of the House they make and clearly say they not reach at any decision yet for dismiss people but on the contrary we see the clerk send this letter to them people yeah. So from your experience and interaction with them former worker they now, what you think say the reason behind all of this, because you must go down get conversations with them.
Of course, you get waiting for the administration on their own side, you have to get waiting on the people on their own side. And from the people on their own side, it's quite unfortunate and ironical also at the time where just the day before Parliament table the Parliamentary Service Act of 2023, we greatly improved conditions of service for MPs and staff of Parliament, and you see them later than they. Everybody, I mean, naturally, we're possibly lost work. Again. So most of them you talk to them, most of them you sense that, oh, this was, well, we fit say, you know, for B because speaker, we don't can't talk, say that they be. So that unexpectation, you know, they're not being expecter because of that back and forth. And even some that you sounded like, might this decision be reversed? But be that as it may, you look at administratively, some of within our Parliament, Khadija, you don't cover Parliament. Of late, we see so many staff in our Parliament, so many of them, most time, when a journalist then they on their phone, or like waiting the speaker self confess, some man they go work, somebody they ask if they in the country or not. So in that stead, I think administratively, in tandem with the Parliamentary Service Commission, yes, it's both fitting because we always talk say there is this huge burden on the wage bill. If we get fast 6-7 person to do one work.
But in the first place, was there a need for employ them? Because I remember then saying they get a rapid employment, the public begin raise concerns. Why Parliament they take so much people?
And that's a wide question. The PSC get for involved, Ministry of Finance, HRMO, mind you, it's a law, it's a chain. And if you reach at this decision, if you say one institution get a power, they say
Responsible for employees.
Would I be responsible for? Of course, get for me the office of the chief administrator when I the clerk of the parliament.
And I exactly back.
So it do that in tandem with administrative best practice as a journalist. And I need to look at was it in tandem with the labor laws? Was it in tandem with the HRMO policy? Within even the parliamentary internal appraisal systems, the merits of the decision now. I think say it's not about the legitimacy, it's about the merits, the one that we then sack. Because whether there is some people that talk say, now because we been there to some bra, now because me then see me to so person. But is that the actuality? The fact remains the budget, the burden on the parliamentary budget in terms of recruitment, then come for let somebody not take the blame. Of course, may so rest in peace the late Yusuf. Yes, now a sergeant at arms. And well, there are conspiracy theories, but brokers might not be far from those theories. So it's about the process and the procedure. If you not get for redundant posts, let everything be very clear. All people get to get time. But I think say yes, Parliament administration gives some time, but the mixed communication between the speaker and the administration was so that exposed the PSC a lot. And we hope that in 2024 we're not going to see the kind of thing and the way clerk they say one thing as the secretary, speaker they say it exposed that there is lack of coordination in the PSC.
Alright, Melo, we'll come back to you shortly. You still watch Liberty Breakfast Show, and today we theme at the legislature with a special focus on the over 100 people where Parliament's been dismissed this BNTM from the work. We'll come back shortly and talk to the other studio guests.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange. This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Alright, welcome back. You still watch the Liberty Breakfast Show. We come to the other studio guests now. We're now Abdul Fatoma, the chief executive for Chadi. They are this morning for talk on the theme where we look at the legislature with focus on the one them where the Clarkna Parliament been sacked this PNTM. And as we've introduced you earlier, you know one person where closely don't follow this issue, but let you just share with the rest of the viewers them where sometimes not don't follow you handles them on social media. Also, you don't make comments on this issue. Waiting Chadi think was this decision from the clerk of parliament, whilst we hear something else from the speaker himself, where talks said they not been get any clear decision yet as a body for take decision for sack people, and but the clerk take up on himself and sack the people. And waiting Chadi make up of this.
Well, first of all, you know, we can be very blunt with issues. From day one, we see this as an embarrassment to the people of this country, being that the parliament responsible for make laws and therefore be one of the principal people them we for obey that law together with all citizens. But if parliament they pass labor law in this country, then the same parliament they in total disagreement and total disrespect to the laws, and they not a disheartening thing to the people of this country, and I am embarrassment to this country as a whole. From the report you listen, a serious disagreement between that of the speaker and that of the clerk. The clerk not aim for run the day-to-day administration of parliamentary activities. The speaker presides over parliamentary sittings. So when a clerk or head of administration, any institution, hire people above the company in need, then they issue out permanent letter to them people, and then don't pass probation period, then all of a sudden redundancy get a process and a criteria. We can get within what they call redundancy pool. So during the redundancy pool, we get what we call selection process. And that selection process need for be fair, need for be transparent, and the basis for be established from the board level. Why we want for redundancy? Is it because of we income what we they get is so small and not able for help we for run the day-to-day administration? So which department will go function without this institution? Or how many staffs them will not go be required by this institution? So you select them people then after where the selection come, you first don't inform them and prepare the mind, best practice 6 months ahead of the redundancy date. And people that will not reach retirement age, they therefore be worried. Because anybody where they in any job, the moment that are forcefully, then they remove you without retirement age. You get a lot of psychological thing than the money. So with that, you get a counseling process. Now you don't prepare the mind of them people there. So counseling processes they take place. But if an institution not go through then due process, then they flout the law.
You don't follow this issue, Mr. Fatoma, based on what you don't follow, I don't observe this whole redundancy issue in a parliament. You think say the clerk go according to the procedure that we just outlined? So
when you even listen between the issue between the clerk and the speaker, like I tell you, any institution where they're redundant, the board, the management level need for the area and a need for approve that process. Disagreement no need for them. So in this case, it clearly tells you that if the speaker they say no, we not get such an intention and such a system not to we notice. It not mean say the speaker not only at the head of the administration, na parliament, meaning the speaker not the part of the leadership of parliament. So, their mistake then a lot of people can do. You say because I'm in the vote controller, I get everything. No, now you title, they carry such responsibility. But they are leadership structure. So basically, the thing is that some of the allegations were surrounding the entire process, and I'm very worried for we as a country. I mean, we organization around 2020 or 2021, we referred for statistics workers, over 400 statistics workers, and where again, somebody just wake up as a maker board chairman and acting director and run and call these people, then call them name by name and throw them out of the office. Where 4 of the people then die, then 3 of them picking and die, and some relocate. Now the villages them back because them in a work, they can no longer afford the rent. So the landlord then throw them out of them place, them become homeless in the city and get for force for return back to them villages. If the allegations them that anything for go by, is a very worried situation that because people then belongs to certain political party or support certain political party leaders in a parliament, or because they suspect say they align with a political party without any due process. Due process in the sense, if anybody go out of a work ethics, we get disciplinary measures in employment process. If they go through a disciplinary hearing, then when the disciplinary hearing go through, the decision come, and then they inform you. With that, you get a right for appeal that matter outside of the workplace. Like, for example, you know, employment, labor commission for Sierra Leone, if you're not like England, we get the employment tribunal. So you take there you matter, then the employment lawyers, then look through your document, first for establish if you're not a legitimate worker, how you gain employment. For establish, say, there was an existing contract between you and your employer. So with them, based on your testimony, then, you know, they appeal against the decision. So that then they make every working place. Apart from the labor law, whether the national statutory, you bound by law for produce what we can call staff handbook. When I know the internal policy. So in case of anything, that the stages then that book they are like the Bible, where they between a staff and an employer.
So at this stage, what does this mean for the rule of law? Seeing it clear now, they not speak with one voice from the parliament, because the speaker they say one thing, the clerk in action, they go different from what the speaker say. What does it mean for the rule of law?
Well, there's a disregard to the rule of law, because when you know follow due process, that's a disrespect to the law. And like I say in my entry, it is disheartening for like you see, parliament where they make laws, it can be very notorious in breaking laws. So now, you know, the best option for them people, that for ensure say they meet, you know, employment law firm or, you know, human rights organizations that way good at employment law issues, you know, for actually challenge the matter. Because if the thing not go through due process, you know, for now, if not any serious institution, you know, I put if as a caveat, anybody can do what they want for due time if they remove the if. If not any serious institution, now the leaders that were responsible for even issue out the letter to them people then without a due process, then themselves were not subject to a disciplinary, you know, action.
Continue for the tonight program. In case you just tune in, the program we watch now the Liberty Breakfast Show. It come to you live from the Liberty Online TV, Facebook, and also YouTube, powered by Orange Sierra Leone. The theme for this conversation this morning at the legislation would they pay special focus on the over 100 workmen them where the clerk na parliament's been pulled letter on the 18th say they all for lost their work them because it quotes section 53 1 and 2 of the Parliament Act of 2003, and we get Melvin Tijan Mansare, a parliamentary commentator, and also we get a human rights activist with Winner the studio, Winner Abdul Fatoma from Chadi. We continue for look inside this issue. In case you get any comments or you want to be part of the conversation, send we message in the comment section on any of the platform them where you they watch with this morning, or 074 200 545. We'll continue with the program, and we'll go now on the line. One of the people that were affected when Mohamed C. Conte in a first Liberia na parliament, in a one party people that were affected by this decision where the clerk of parliament take, and also to viewers them or just one let know say Liberty Online TV try forget the communications department na parliament, but according to them they say they're not ready for talk it on this issue. We'll continue the program. They join now Mohamed Conte. Good morning, Mr. Conte. Hello, Mohamed, are you there? All right, we'll try to forget one of the people that were affected by this decision where the clerk of parliament been take inside one letter where he give to all the staff there, we say redundancy letter, we mean say they don't lost their work. and in Ampa the people that were affected, waiting this mean and how they reached to this decision. And that make we forget Mohamed C. Conte when have been forced in Liberia na parliament. Good morning, Mohamed.
All right, we still later forget Mohamed Conte in a one pan the victim them of this decision where the clerk take for redundant over 100 people in parliament for let sharing experience how we been signed like forum to the dates where you receive in your letter so that una go get first-hand information from one of the people we get affected by this decision. Well, you still watch the Liberty Breakfast Show. Today we look at a theme where in the legislature with a focus on them people here where the clerk of parliament being done redundant this BNTM. Well, while we wait for get Mohamed on the line, we come back to the studio guest them. And they come over again to Melvin as in a parliamentary reporter. He done the work with parliament for a very long time and he done the discuss on this issue as one person we done monitor the issue closely na parliament at this stage, just like how I've been asked Mr. Fatoma just now waiting in mean for the rule of law. You done the dinner parliament for a long time and you with your experience where you get from the decision where we see the statement from the speaker to that of the action of the clerk. You notice anything like the clerk and the speaker, not the speak with one voice, not only on this matter, but in terms of their working relationship? Because if we reach to this stage where a whole speaker, they make a statement, then the action of the clerk not go with that statement, it means a lot.
Well, of course, it means a lot, especially when we want to see state institutions like parliament for work in unison. But there's a deeper side to that story. When you have institutions that you cannot draw the line within politics and administration, it's quite difficult. And we see this problem begin surface with the last parliament, where we get a former active politician or well retired, Pasise, may so rest in peace, we take the office and later we see Honorable Paran. So I think if you get professionals we know the clear-cut rules in what is political and what is administrative, we'll not get in situation there. But I think we will be limited also because there is this PSC meeting coming up on the 4th of January. We don't know. Since that meeting they go say, well, this action is illegal or this action is legal, we stand with the clerk. So this is a test for the parliament in the new year to come in 2014, because if, for example, they're going to PSC now and then say decision for being rescinded, then we get clear facts for say the clerk acts unilaterally.
The possibility of seeing this decision being passed?
That's a very critical question. If all sides equal and if it's not in tandem with the due process, it should be reversed wherein institutions they're independent. But if all sides not equal and due process is not followed, this is not saloon. But we want to look at the betterment of the institution wherein if all sides, in this case, due processes were not followed and labor laws were not, or even let's say the basic as provided for the law and sites, the entitlement and already it, then you ask why you do it now.
Although you say that the clerk, according to the laws the way they will put in parliament, now in right for take this decision, but again when you look at the communication gap between the speaker and the clerk of parliament, you clearly know say there was a miscommunication between them, and a lot of people on they say now power game they all to they play. Is it possible for let the speaker at this point put in foot down say this decision not timely?
That's if the clerk is wrong. Because that PSC meeting, I'm sure the question will be upon what basis that decision was taken. And me interviewed the clerk last night. He said clearly it was instructed and awaiting the instruction for Dunaidu. So that's not the question now where PSC they can sit on the fort. Because if you're on with Abdukagbo, we're supposed to be part member of the PSC, the Express with the Express, it's an indication that there might. So the fact here is he cannot take the decision, but he has the right to communicate the decision. Let me establish that. Not a one-man decision that, because Parliament is an institution. He get in the principal advisor to the PSC, in the secretary to the PSC, the constitution give him as the administrative head. But when Parliament don't compose, when they don't sit, you don't elect speaker you don't get all the full composition, and thankfully the opposition is back in parliament. Nobody not get a power for act unilaterally on issues around employment or unemployment. In this case, now redundancy. So we wait for see maybe they can recall them back, or they can rescind the decision, or they can go and do fresh appraisals. Some people are saying they do 2 appraisals, other one they say na 1, other one they say not do no appraisal. Na Congosa business, some appraisal been take. So all those things need to be established by the PSC. But this is clearly sending a message that, of course, if we want a formidable parliament, then for speak with one voice, and like you talk, then kind of miscommunication and not for be, because they send the wrong message that what is there is a power struggle as being insinuated by the media. And let's not forget the tenure for let we get the speaker we elected, so we know what were the backstories. In fact, there is an agreement wherein they say enough for complete in full 5 years because of disagreement as to who therefore be actually replacer or succeeder. So do we know if there is a power play at the back? We not get the clear evidence yet, but let me not forget the clerk is an active politician too, and the speaker is almost a retiring politician. So
and this speaker, Melvin, one way fingers from the media don't they point at say it not seem forget that kind of power where previous speaker they don't they get na parliament. For me example, I don't report na parliament. I know how speaker they like SBB Dumbuya be so powerful way putting foot down on certain decision that even the MPs they wouldn't see and in that regard say as a speaker. But this one the media don't they look at and say you not to get that kind of power or control.
Because we see sign wherein sometimes maybe they rule in favor of the opposition, we see how in bench don't they react. Even in recent before we the last month, we see inside the government bench almost attempt for boycott a debate on the budget on the grounds that the speaker was being too liberal. I have interviewed the speaker, I get a lot of time with him, and one thing what I sense about speaker, he wants to hold the balance right this time, learning from the mistakes in the 5th parliament, and looking at him as a old man. And looking at the desperation among the government bench for who for succeeder, you know we expect for like a smooth ride. But he's a man of wisdom, and I don't think say in as much as young man and wants power, everybody go out for succeeder. With the experience where he gets and the serve where he don't serve, many say Alina's not expecting for make any wrong decision from that political lens. But again, in office not all powerful when it comes in tandem with a clerk of parliament, whether the administrative head, don't a politician back like the speaker, and they all come on at the same party. So it's
the administration, they accord them the respect to it deserve.
Yes, of course. The speaker is well respected by the administration of parliament, including the clerk.
All right, now we can now to Abdul Fatoma. We don't see side Chad don't champion a cause similar to this with statistics allow workman them. We don't hear you say one pande workman there, one of the affected people them, one that already lost their life. What in Chad go do in terms of violating some of them people that their human rights, not the one of on a mandates, nothing and then they own the champion.
Well, basically, if institutions or individuals are not approach we, in some cases, we not go just, champion that issue, because we need evidence, and sometimes we also want for say the people the way they complain don't exhaust the established processes within the country we make available for we. Like for example, the government work mandem, we get the ombudsman office where they can put such complaint to. We get the Labor Commission, we get the Human Rights, and also we get also the Legal Aid Board. These then are state institutions that we set up for provides public service to citizens in this country. And more this, if they get involved the Ombudsman Office or the Labor Commission, and if their institutions and they actually fail the people of this country, then they can come out to a non-governmental organizations like we for really take a position on that. Not only statistics, because now the number be big. Like Fire Force, they may get 99 people then, where they want for layoff. The moment we step into that, we'll be able to get that. NACRA, and also is it NATCOM, and some other contractors and Awataki. So basically, we don't involve a lot because my first degree background at employment law, so I practice that and know the structures and procedures in dealing with that more, But for Sierra Leone, I'm more focused on human rights work and governance. So basically, I always get interest in employment law issues or company law issues when academically that's my background.
So this particular issue, Charlie they take her up on and they wait let the one they wait for victim of reach out to her.
So far we have not been approached yet. Not only journalists then like Kuna and Blah now actually don't get too involved into this and get the story.
When you look at the list and the composition of people were affected, you find out saying that people where they serve opposition leaders, people who they serve opposition MPs them, we make lots of people get this feeling say that because of politics make the clerk sack some of them people here.
Basically, if you will get me in my earlier point, I talk say some of the stories that will be, if not true, the individuals and based because they serve certain leaders that the opposition or neither they belong to certain political party or them believe say they're not there with them as they want to go, they quote unquote they're not there with we, although we amend them. Then I say if that is true at all, it's disgraceful because at a point in time like this in our country, what do we for ensure? If we talk about human capital development, the social capital of any nation, now the unity and how equally people then go get access to job, regardless of their tribe, regardless of their color, regardless of their race or sex or creed, or let alone you talk about their political party, but because like Parliament, like any other government institution in Sierra Leone, they will set the standard that say where you they in certain position, for being an active politician. But then you see they say positions and way the civil service lawmaker clearly in this country. Not a they take them, you in active politics. But then we don't see that over the years that happen in this country. We're not able to distance. The law also say if you're in government, you hold any position, for established business. I mean, in and out, we see government officials they get shares inside businesses or they 100% own businesses. And then businesses and they procure and supply government institution where they take away the chances for you as an ordinary citizen and mean ordinary. We're not there in a political life, we're not there in a government portfolio where you get that your freedom and right for let you establish a business and compete with any other business fairly. But in the sense that one big government official now in they take decision back to that ministry, get a business, one or two, they supply the same thing. Definitely, you're not going to be a supplier. That government official. So all of these, processes there, they disturb the foundation of democracy. That people not able to enjoy democratic process. So those are things we're good for build national cohesion, those are things we're good for build peace, those are things we're good, for create a fair play and environment. So if with the redundant people based on the tribe or based on the last name, it's very worry and scary. If ever we don't practice that, we no need for repeat that practice. Because any bad practice is not good, not a thing we need for repeat. It not bring any peace and stability in any environment.
So from all waiting you don't observe on this issue, now Usai Parliament miss them. Is it from the very fact say they be take people them where they know say at the end of the day they don't need some position, just be one give position in them because like we been say earlier when some of them position they come out, people be they complain how Parliament they employ people and so. Now that stage they miss them or actually now the reason where the clerk states as per why it is redundant same people are in the issue.
Well, again, when you look at the thing what they say now, we get to look at the history behind the initial employment of these people. was it the Anes Kroma-led administration, parliament, that actually employed these people then. So in the case where the Marabio administration come, then the massive recruitment we're going to talk about, they may recruit the other people then for can replace them when they are now, then they redundant. So let me start for build the block from that end. So if these people they are benefit, you know, from the Anes Kroma time for getting their employment, then the one that way this redundancy or sack or whatever way they call them, because currently it just stands like certain things that happen in this country, they say faceless, but it does exist. If the one that we actually go now during Anes Kroma in time, they employ them, then it brings a more investigative, you know, issues. So you know, what was the criteria used for reach to the redundancy pool? Like I say, when you they redundant, no, even if they select one person for be redundant, but then a high chance is they say it's not possible. You give for bring come a serious justification for long and not go to the tribunal and get lost. And when you get lost, you know, a lot of money, they, I don't know what's really much, when they recover, like England, we go up to 11, you know, million pounds now where they in redundancy payment. So it's a huge money. And business is no one for businesses or institution, no one for lost that money for one person, where you go pay like 10 people for 5 years.
All right, Marvin, you don't in a parliament for a very long time. Administration after administration, and you understand the dynamics and systems, how it operates. This parliament led by the right speaker, Dr. Cherno Abbas Bondo, during Intemusi, rapid recruitment happened, and just like I said, some man in that parliament, they wonder what they do now. So then one day also we affected by this redundancy. Now all staff them or now the new one they wouldn't take.
Well, firstly, the administration ever come and can tell me the full list, but from the people that don't call me and we are on they talk to, it's a blend of old, new, high, mid-level, and low. Because we talk about even a certain, I think, assistant director. So from the outer look, from the people that we talk to, but you get to look at the list for critical reasons. Look at, you know, Salon now, anything that if you see the list, that if you watch his name there, you get to watch, you know.
Oh, you don't see the list.
But from the list, I think it's just
how the composition type.
It's mixed, but it's mixed. It's a mixed bag. I'll just let us say it's a mixed bag. And maybe concerned about the procedure and the merits rather than I want to see the appraisal reports, because I talked to some directors personally tell me that nobody now approached me for sending the appraisal report on my own staff. So it seems as if there are several issues, but let me look at the bigger picture. Assuming that the Clark acts ultra-virus and unilaterally for recruits, or the PSC or the parliamentary service generally, or all acts unilaterally and ultra-virus outside of the law, who that pay them people in there? So there is no way we can have this conversation only be fixated on parliament if we don't factor the executive, the Ministry of Finance. The people that someone don't work for a long time, who that be the pay them? So if you are identifying over recruitment, which are you reach that threshold, wherein we see government they talk about creating jobs and employment. I think that's the paradox. But the reality remains. It's just realistic. If you are running a business, if you get people that will not contribute to the business, you get for redundant them. Yeah, it comes with a cost, but what do you mean for pay staff who are not productive than for redundancy? It's a harsh reality. But these are some of the realities. So for me, Ministry of Finance, of course, they go for explain why all Bokunim and they be going to not say, okay, this is your ceiling, on a stick to on a ceiling, because that's what the government's administration then get a recruitment or employment ceiling. Was there no ceiling for parliament? If there was a ceiling, who breached it? What can be done for it not to be done again? So you get a complex, and what you hear from the speaker now, finance they pay. So what about the HRMO? What's not the role in all of this?
So what are some of the lessons that we for learn from this decision?
With a diverse state institutions from politics.
You don't make mention of this twice. What happened? Is it that politics they play in a parliament?
Yes, because parliament is the highest house of politics. There is no way, if you are actively involved in politics, you can hold that scale on a fair balance. Because you get party office interest for seek.
But
be it from Wallace Johnson Street or railway line.
Melvin, in as much as you say parliaments are the highest house of politics, when you look at the parliamentary prayer, what they can say every day, there's a certain inside we say for put away all private interest, for put them aside. So where politics them can on a play politics. After politics now administration and do the thing they are supposed for do as lawmakers.
I think that's the highest political willingness for diverse state institution from politics, and now they take the president himself. And it will begin with let the president remove himself as a ceremonial member of parliament. And that's why in 2024 I look for a constitutional review where the president will not be a member of parliament anymore. Can you remember the Bintumani incident? Would that be someone parliament? So this is the clear analogy as to how parliament is I don't want to use this word, but now political fingers that they control parliament, and until we go for draw line, especially the parliamentary administration, because when you look at Commonwealth benchmark, it talks about recruitment of parliament. There's a whole provision on that. We see therefore be divorced from politics. But we are in, you get that kind of situation, and they overlander lesson there, and maybe call on Mr. President, what will do constitutional review? Let not be a member of parliament.
So this is another scenario of above this?
I don't know yet, but we hope that justice will serve, and parliament will live up to the expectation of rule of law, not rule by law.
Look, Mr. Fatoma, I understand say the speaker don't summon a meeting on the 4th of January where therefore go look inside this issue. Based on Mr. Speaker, Melvin can say na a man of high standing. You think say he go look inside this particular issue and try for reverse the clerking decision?
Well, now somebody will sometime if you see an embarrassment where they face a whole institution than individual or himself, it can try for be a protecting shield for other institution. They don't manage several things, and in a parliament where for don't actually be catastrophic for this country or neither the entire image of parliament. Is still above that, then a lot of grumble being at the ruling party bench, a dissatisfaction about in leadership, but it don't survive all of that. So in the interest that say is see this, then they in a disagreement with the process. So we expectation now that in look into it and apply fairness, to the process. If not a fairness to the people, but just fairness to the process. Because no matter what thing happen, a day part of it, another part of it, a day within the leadership of parliament, with this kind of situation happen. But then, when statistics for our force been do that, now a civil society organization like we may only be rescue the people then. In another parliament, where actually they seek the interest of the people, then they summon the head of statistics and then people for let them go explain how they reach that process, and if they respect due process and make a recommendation to the executive body or institutions we will take the necessary actions. But then we get democratic institutions and supposedly for work and provide services for the people of this country. When the lack of trust between the citizen and public institution and politicians, it don't cause a lot of disaster in this country. If people sick, some man they afraid for go cottage or cannot based on the activities where they go on there, so them go prefer pepper doctor then they die. Not that say pepper doctor na them prefer choice. Now because of lack of trust and confidence, they get people the way back we get lack of trust and confidence in the ombudsman office, in the anti-corruption commission, in the human rights commission, in the legal aid board, because there's certain cases and the way they take her, because it involves certain personality, now government or society, like maybe I say buff case, you're not going to end up seeing anything. So the case worker will end up turn, the complainant. So the point that they get frustrated, they say even the last money way they get. I mean, the time of statistics worker they reach to, then broke and then go to somebody, the Ministry of Education. After they don't come on labor, they don't even get transport or water for drink. So that person buy for the water and give the transport. Now I say, I don't meet Chadi. So that was how statistics worker then be able to get in contact with me. So we engage the government through diplomatic means. We book meetings, and when they refuse, we call the workers and tell them, say, well, this time the government's really don't say, but we got another strategy. We don't exhaust the local remedy. Now we give a public notice to them through a press conference. We give 22 days. We don't give 21 days, 22 days. Within 7 days, we begin get calls, say the money they don't begin they coming.
So for this case now, we will look at as to wrap up the program as Campaign for Human Rights Development International Chadi. Waiting at the advice we they left with the one them where they don't sack and serve Parliament itself.
One advisor say let her engage the Labour Commission and also the Ombudsman Office, because the Ombudsman Office by Constitution again no most power, for look into the in there and make recommendation. So let it be that it in a record. So if they exhaust their remedy, then they not get the result, then counter we locally. If we engage the government or parliament, they refuse, then tell them we get abundant evidence for take this country back to a regional court for ensure say they address that. Then again, that I say we go engage the authorities that we concerned. If the human rights, the ombudsman office fail for address the concern of them people there, for get parliament for actually reverse the decision and go through nobody. Let it be clear that we not say let parliament not sack or hire or redundant anybody. What till we get interest in that for ensure that say parliament go through due process. Melvin they say like a mixed bag. That mixed bag I left confused. What do you mean by actually a mixed bag? Mixed bag in which sense? Is it SFPP people then they APC people then they or Southeasterners then they or this then they? Then when it comes to redundancy, we don't actually need appraiser. Appraiser now a systematic operation pattern for every annual year. They appraise you staff. One, a good for the institution, then two, a good for the individual, because now they are able to identify the gaps and needs of both waiting the company need and waiting you need for capacitate that staff there with, for go through the process.
Quickly, is it really good for institutions like parliaments and they talk about redundanting staff then the public they get this speculation, say, oh, now because of in name, because of in region, because it belongs to a certain political party?
No morality, not concerned about that. What's concerned about this is that we look at if it's necessary, but if the necessity they fairly, you get no morality at place. Any workplace so far, they cut down on number of staff. But if they think say this number of staff, they not get any high contribution, then the income will they generate. Like maybe we talk about say the Ministry of Finance. Each institution get a budget within they do. So Parliament be don't set their own budget within they send. So that be based on that budget, within that budget. So waiting that the other additional cost way Parliament don't get, with the first Parliament, because lots of them they generate income. Where the first Parliament now for redundant. Then the other question is this: the government, the central government, don't ask that say each arm of government for redundant certain percentage, and if no, so how do we get there?
All right, Melvin, quickly. You don't dey around parliament for a long time. This issue not until they begin. It be don't cut the media in attention, activists they like Fatoma attention, and now it don't really happen. You think say this now listening parliament, then go on hear from the media or activists, then look back into the decision? You hopeful?
Well, because it's an issue where for spiral out of parliament's control, you ever talk about the government. Will the government allow this to happen? And if yes, well, what's it go mean for the government then bigger picture? So for me, we will be hopeful. We will be hopeful, and that's a message to the one that will be affected. This is not to sack. This is not redundancy. You can be recalled. You hope for the best, and for the one that will take the decision, let's make sure that whatever we sow, let's not get for rape. Because at the end of the day, if you don't follow due process, then they can haunt you. We don't see the same parliament people and we don't in our power and how then conduct the like. So for me, that due process me to look at, and the fact remains that yes, parliament begin boku workman there, and some of them need for be reduced. Whether not the right one and they reduce now or not reduce one, I think saying that they handle the other work they will all do so as media and civil society. So I wish we all a wonderful 2024. And we hope the best for Parliament. The fourth meeting can decide that. It can say, okay, we are rescinding or we are proceeding. So if you are affected and unjustly, for the press, let God make the rescind your own decision and call you back. If otherwise, so be it.
We join me at the program. Well, today we look at the over 100 workmen them in Parliament, where the clerk of Parliament in one letter said don't redundant them. We will continue this conversation on it. Now we order program one-on-one where they come to you every Monday to Friday, 8 to 8:30. We will continue for look at this issue. Many thanks, so you don't take your time, you don't watch we, continue for watch we. Now all we platform the Liberty Online TV and make sure say you safe get responsibility for support we for make sure so we continue for bring on accurate information by way how we share all we programs them. Mina Khadija Bangura they say have a good day.
And Mabel Kaba they say goodbye.